1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. Federal Cabinet has decided to launch Phase 2 of Ehsaas Cash program to mitigate the sufferings of low-income people. 2,691 new cases of coronavirus surfaced, with 77 more deaths reported during the last 24 hours. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown will be observed tomorrow to mark the 4th martyrdom anniversary of Kashmiri youth leader Burhan Muzaffar Wani. 21st martyrdom anniversary of Havaldar Lala Jan Shaheed Nishan-e-Haider is being observed today. UN Special Rapporteur on Extrajudicial Summary or Arbitrary Execution says the US drone strike that killed Iran's top general Qasem Soleimani was unlawful. In Afghanistan, 50 militants have been killed during an operation conducted by government forces in Baghlan province. And now the news in detail. The Cabinet has decided to launch Phase 2 of Ehsaas Cash program to mitigate the sufferings of low-income people. This was stated by Information Minister Syed Shibli Faraz while briefing media after Cabinet meeting held in Islamabad today with Prime Minister Imran Khan in the chair. The Minister said Ehsaas Emergency Cash program was commended internationally as 16 billion rupees were distributed among deserving people apolitically and in a transparent manner. He said the cabinet also lauded finance advisor and his team for presenting a tax-free budget despite difficult situation in the wake of COVID-19. The minister said that the cabinet has also appreciated the role of National Command and Operation Center in the face of COVID-19 and effective coordination with all provinces to prevent the spread of the pandemic. COVID-19 recoveries in Pakistan have reached 134,957. 2,691 new cases surfaced during the last 24 hours, taking the tally to 2,34,509. These include 82,660 in Punjab, 96,236 in Sindh, 28,236 in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 10,841 in Balochistan, 13,557 in Islamabad, 1,557 in Gilgit-Baltistan, and 1,383 in Azad Kashmir. The death toll from the virus has reached 4,08,039, with 77 more deaths reported during the last 24 hours. The number of coronavirus cases across the world has surpassed over 11.7 million, while the pandemic has so far claimed more than 5,41,520 lives. The United States tops both in number of cases and deaths, with over 3 million cases and more than 1,32,000 deaths, followed by Brazil with over 1.6 million cases and more than 65,000 deaths. Over 6.7 million patients have so far recovered from the disease across the world. Meanwhile, 5 million residents of the Australian city of Melbourne have been told to stay at home for 6 weeks amid a surge in coronavirus cases. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Shibli Faraz has said the PTI government has come to power to take forward the country and rid it of elements doing politics for vested interests. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad today, he said these are the elements who pushed the country backward and patronized the gangs. In his remarks on the occasion, Minister for Maritime Affairs Ali Zaidi said the aim of the present government is to put the country on the right track. He said the Sindh government has not released the genuine report of JIT on Uzair Baloch. He said the original JIT report, carrying the signatures of the members on every page except the representative of Sindh government, carries 6 names of PPP lawyers who patronized Uzair Baloch. The Minister for Maritime Affairs prayed to the Chief Justice of Pakistan to take suo motu notice of the matter and examine the JIT reports. He said those named in the original JIT report are still sitting in the parliament and enjoying perks and privileges at the cost of national exchequer. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown will be observed tomorrow to mark the fourth martyrdom anniversary of Kashmir youth leader Burhan Muzaffar Wani and his two associates who were martyred by the Indian troops on 8th of July in 2016. Call for the strike has been given by the veteran Hurriyat leader Saeed Ali Gilani and the All Parties Hurriyat Conference. Saeed Ali Gilani, in a statement issued in Srinagar, paid rich tributes to Burhan Wani and the martyrs. Meanwhile, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference, while paying tributes to Burhan Wani in a statement, said that the 8th of July would be observed as Yawm-e-Istiqlal to reiterate the Kashmiris' resolve that they will continue their struggle for right to self-determination through thick and thin. Meanwhile, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred a Kashmiri youth in Pulwama district today. The troops martyred the youth during a cordon and search operation in Yetsu village of the district. Meanwhile, India lost its 3 army personnel, including an officer, in one single day today, with 2 soldiers committing suicide, while the officer falling victim to the firing of one of the 2 soldiers before he took his life in Kolgam and Kupwara districts. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. The United Nations expert on extrajudicial killings, Agnes Callamard, has said the U.S. drone strike that killed Iran's top general Qasem Soleimani was unlawful. In a report which she released today, the UN Special Rapporteur on extrajudicial summary or arbitrary executions concluded it was an arbitrary killing that violated the UN Charter. China has signed the UN Arms Trade Treaty designed to control the flow of weapons into conflict zones. Chinese ambassador to the UN, Zhang Zhou, in a statement said Beijing allows arms exports only to sovereign states and not to non-state actors. Adopted by the UN in 2013, the treaty requires members to keep records of international transfers of weapons and to prohibit cross-border shipments that could be used in human rights violations. In Afghanistan, 15 militants have been killed during an operation conducted by government forces in Chashma-e-Sher area of Baghlan province. Meanwhile, 3 police personnel have been killed and 5 people injured in a suicide car bomb blast in Nangarhar province. The 21st martyrdom anniversary of Havaldar Lalak Jan Shahid Nishan-e-Haider was observed today. On behalf of Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa, Major General Ehsan Mahmood Khan, Force Commander Northern Areas, laid floral wreath at Havaldar Lalak Jan Shahid's grave at his native town Ghizr in Gilgit-Baltistan. A smartly turned out contingent of Northern Light Infantry Regiment presented guard of honor at the Mazar. Meanwhile, a wreath-laying ceremony was also held at the grave of Captain Colonel Sher Khan Shahid, Nishan-e-Haider, in Swabi today. Commandant Punjab Regimental Centre laid the floral wreath at the grave of Captain Colonel Sher Khan Shahid. Wreath-laying ceremonies were held to pay homage to supreme sacrifices of valiant sons of the soil in line of duty to safeguard Pakistan's territorial integrity and sovereignty. People from various walks of life, civil and military officials, and relatives of martyrs attended the ceremonies. And finally, we have the weather report for you. Mainly hot and humid weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, rain with wind and thunderstorm is expected in northeast Balochistan, lower Sindh, upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Kashmir. To end the news, the main points once again. Federal Cabinet has decided to launch Phase 2 of SR's cash program to mitigate the sufferings of low-income people. 2,691 new cases of coronavirus surfaced, with 77 more deaths reported during the last 24 hours. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown will be observed tomorrow to mark the 4th martyrdom anniversary of Kashmiri youth leader Burhan Muzaffar Wani. 21st martyrdom anniversary of Havaldar Lalak Jan Shahid Nishan-e-Haider is being observed today. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.